right?
We need
Presenting
those
those all the way
numbers.
down, presenting your marketing plan, right? Because if you kind of stumble through it, well, you're not worth that extra percent. But if you're hammering them, no, this is what I do, you can expect this from me, all the stuff, right? Communication, I want to make sure the 79 items in the purchase contract are followed through with your benefit in mind, of the quickest, the highest price and the quickest amount of time, right? And you're going to practice that spiel.
And
If
where's
it comes
that,
off good, then you'll earn it.
where's that information that you were saying, with this many agents, we're gonna do this and da. Those, I like those numbers.
Yeah, I can get you those. I mean, that's just our facts.
I think it's on
office.
Yeah, but it's good
yeah,
stuff
on top of the
in terms of,
presentation.
Yeah.
okay,
We can help you with that,
Okay.
developing your thing. But those are, see, those numbers people like, right? And it
Yeah,
sounds
they
good, and you've done the
Yeah.
research, and we, that sort of thing, so. Good. Let's see.
And open houses, you tell them you're gonna sit open houses too, right?
Yeah, expose the property, right, by open houses, caravan, advertising on the internet. Internet's open 24/7. We're a global company. So
advertising on the
online.
internet just looks like,
Listings.
just
Listings,
the
right?
MLS and,
Facebook,
MLS,
Instagram,
Oh, yeah.
okay, social
Right.
media.
Craigslist.
Social media, you can do the,
What do you think about Craigslist, depending on the property?
people love. You
Yeah,
can find
yeah.
a customer off of Craigslist.
I mean,
For
you're
high
gonna,
end?
you're gonna hit them all,
Yeah.
High end, I don't know about Craigslist.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, for high end, I would stick to the,
Yeah.
I've seen
Yeah.
some though on Craigslist.
Makes me
I've seen
think
like
what's-
$1.2 million
Yeah.
homes on.
It just kinda makes me
Really?
think what's wrong with it, a little bit, like why are they putting
Yeah,
on
Craigslist is a little bit more,
high-end
I wouldn't,
Maybe
I would
for
probably
sale by owner.
stick to the other side. I mean, it has
Right.
been done.
You can see, you can find FISBOs too on Craigslist.
That's
Yeah.
what I was just saying,
Yeah.
yeah, it's probably
Yeah.
for sale by owner.
So, anyway, put that together and practice it, right? Because that, especially if you're doing high end, they're gonna judge you right there on your presentation, right? Whether you're gonna be worth it or not.
We need that for Tuesday, presentation.
Okay, we are at the bottom of 23, the greet. Enter and turn the home is a key moment that can be emotional and exciting. Greet the seller warmly, thanking them for the privilege of the appointment, and that's at the beginning, right? Showing that you care on by writing those things down and stuff like that, right? Thank you for so the script on that is thank you for inviting me here to apply for the job of getting your home sold.
I would never say that.
What would you say?
I would just say, thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you. I would never say applying for a job, then they suddenly go,
It
oh,
changes positions.
I should have somebody else in to,
Yeah. True,
not a thing
true.
to say.
Right, so you customize it to you, right, and the way you think.
Anybody.
Good.
Okay.
That's what they're out there for, just to get your brain going, right?
Did.
Okay, walking through the home. And so we kind of already talked about that, right? So this one has a checklist, which is very helpful when you're new, because it answers the questions, right? The script, do you mind if I set my things down in the kitchen? Right? I would use the checklist for you guys. It just it answers the question easier. You don't have to think about that part of it. The main part you're thinking about is that whole commission thing, right? Your marketing plan, because that sets you apart from anyone else, right? Everyone else can do this checklist and all that kind of stuff. The marketing plan will be yours, unique to you. After the tour, be sure to compliment the house and bring up positive details you noticed, right? And suggestions, though, too, Give them the suggestion because that's what they want. Sometimes you gotta be a little bit, honest, brutally honest with them sometimes, but in a delicate way. Page 25, listing presentation. Going to the bullet points, create a great impression, right? Build the seller's confidence in you and their real estate agent of choice to get their home sold. If you're stumbling and stammering through things, they're not going to have that much confidence in you. That's why you would practice your listing presentation, right? questions that would come out. Know your inventory on the listing presentation. Because you know that they're gonna know it better than you, you better know it, right? Know what the homes have sold for in the area. They might come up with some obscure one, and you hopefully know about that, because it was probably over a different price, different property that they thought was comparable. Okay?
So they might know about like pocket listings, things that weren't listed or something like that, but those will still be undersold.
They could be. If a realtor was used, it'll be on the MLS. If it wasn't, it'll be in the tax records. But
And you should be abreast of that as well?
I would try to be, but
Can you search the tax records by location like that?
you could look up the
So you won't know the address.
You won't
so-
have an address or a name?
you can look up if you have the TMK of the subject property, you can kind of look up the rest of
Surrounding
them.
areas.
But
Okay.
I wouldn't concentrate too much
Got
on
it.
that, because those
Okay.
are far and few between. And then you're going to share your price recommendation, right? But it should be a range. It shouldn't be the amount,
Sure,
right?
range.
So I always try to try and get the price that they want, right? And I usually do it like kind of when I'm walking around, right? Oh, why don't you give me a tour of the house, right? So you start walking around. Oh, this is nice. What do you guys think you might want to sell this for? So it's not so like in your face and the table, right? You can kind of just throw it out there and see what they say, right? Hopefully they say something, right? If they don't, you're gonna have to ask them again. Hopefully they say something you're thinking, oh great, that was in the range that I was gonna suggest, right? If it's not, then you're gonna kind of be like, oh okay, well we're gonna have to do some changes in the property, right?
That's nice, not that nice. No, I'm just-
Right. Oh, that's a good price. How'd you come up with it? Right?
Oh, that's good. I like that one.
Right? How'd you come up with it? Because what are they looking at? Are they giving out Zillow's estimates or something like that? Right? And they're wrong a lot of the times.
Right.
Or where did they come up with this? Right? So now you know how to combat it.
Or what if it's just their renovation and their mortgage, and this is what they need to do to not.
Right? Definitely. Right? Because you're going to talk to them about the
Yeah.
seller's net, how much they need to sell it for, right? And what do they owe? Right? That's going to be another big one for you, because it's personal to them to ask them what their debts are, right? And do they have enough equity to sell it? Or is the price, not equity, but is the price that they can sell it for that amount? Can they sell it? Are they gonna have to go short sale, right? Right now, the market's good where most people don't have to do that, but there will be a market where sellers might have to pay to sell.
And you just go off of like the estimated settlement statement or something like that.
For
Like you just to find their seller's net.
seller's net, you're gonna ask them what they owe on it, right? And anything to do with it, do they have a second mortgage, right? Things like that. You can get a seller's net sheet from escrow also,
Okay.
but they're gonna ask you what the sales price will be. You kinda don't know that yet, because you haven't set that. But you can figure it out, right? Usually what you can do is you can do what they want, what they owe, right? Divided by 93% will get you the bottom line you have to sell it for.
Okay.
And anything over that then would be profit to them, right? So if that number is really close to what the sales price would be,
93%.
you're gonna have to really make sure that your numbers are right. Because you don't want your commission to have to go to that, right? To pay that.
Why 93?
Closing costs.
Closing costs, so the commission, 6% commission, and then closing costs about 1% the
Okay.
sales price,
Okay.
and then you go divide by 93% because it's math.
Okay.
You don't do 6% and then the 1%. You do.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
other way.
other way around. Okay.
Um,
You'll have to explain.
and so if it's 5%, then you go right.
So
right.
you go 94%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, good. And so make sure you do the seller's net you have to do that because you got to know that they can sell it, right? You don't want to spend your commission doing that. We had a deal where the other side didn't do that. The seller's side didn't do that, and so they came to us to help them pay this seller's payment off. The payoffs. I don't know. That wasn't my job. That was your job as the seller's agent to make sure you check the net, right? The seller's net. They didn't do that, so they spent their whole commission and everything helping the seller out to pay it off. Because they didn't do a seller's net. Should have done a seller's net. Gotta do a seller's net. Can't impress them.
And those are the only factors, just how much they owe divided by whatever,
10%.
6 or 7%.
Right. Now, if they're throwing in like, oh, I want to pay off my truck and stuff, no, that's not part of it,
So
right?
it's a simple equation, just based
Pretty
on
much,
those 3
yeah.
factors.
Right. So whatever they owe, like their mortgage, if they have a second mortgage, maybe that's pulled in there, right? Anything to do with the real estate part, but usually it's the mortgage, right? And then your closing costs. That's why it's that simple figure, and then you see that they can do it.
Okay, closing costs.
Within the or not, the listing contract, they have delinquencies also that you want to talk to them about, right? Are you late on anything? Are you late on payments of any kind? You need to know that, and you have to tell them if you do get late, you gotta let me know, right? If you're gonna file for bankruptcy or anything like that, you gotta let me know, right? So any of those things, you gotta ask them, which is kind of uncomfortable because like usually
Yes,
a
personal.
stranger.
Are these lines that are in the contract, the
Yeah.
previous contract?
Mhm. So if you go through the contract,
The
you'll
listing contract or the?
listing contract,
In the
yeah.
listing contract, okay, if you go
It'll
through
have-
it line by line,
Yeah,
it brings
and
it.
that's what I usually do for the most part on
Mhm.
those ones, you know, because
Right.
it guides you right through it, right? To
Okay.
ask them those questions, you don't have to think about it.
Mhm.
Set expectations of how you will market the home and work for the sellers, right? We've talked about that. So next we will review the seller's listing presentation. Go page by page, learn the materials, how to use it. So let's do that. Let's take a quick break real quick, yeah?
Okay.